Hi everyone, my name is Leo and with this video we will share a demo review of the SoniCake Smart Box. First of all, we will hear the unit in action with the demo song, then we will describe the technical characteristics of the unit, then we will hear more sounds also performing our beloved NULL Test versus the Valeton GP5 and also comparing the unit versus a real trip amp. Finally, I will give you my 2 cents. So I hope you enjoy and please don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell, as it would really help me to create more content like this. Let's start with a brand new THC song, totally human created, no AI. Let's now describe the main characteristics of this unit. It offers 35 guitar amps and 15 guitar cabinets, with all the famous amps that we all know and love. And then we have 3 bass amps too. Furthermore, it has 5 slots where we can load our own IRs. But that's not all in terms of amp sounds, as this little device can load 5 NAM profiles that it translates in its proprietary format. And that's of course super cool. The procedure to load NAM profiles is pretty easy and the translation is done while loading the profiles. You can load amps and effects in a signal chain composed by 9 blocks. We cannot arrange the effect blocks with total freedom. For instance, the drive, amp, IR and EQ blocks are fixed and nothing can be put in between these blocks and they cannot be moved. For instance, we cannot place a reverb after the drive or the drive after the amp. On the other hand, we can move freely the delay, the reverb and 2 generic effects called FX1 and FX2, where we can load compressors, boosters or some modulation effects like choruses or vibratos, etc. Furthermore, we cannot use many instances of the same effect many times, like for instance 2 drives or 2 reverbs. Furthermore, the unit does not manage parallel effects, which is to be expected in a unit of this price point. The effect blocks available are a noise gate, 2 generic effects, where, as I said previously, we can load compressors, wah, boosters, etc. Then we have 8 drives, an EQ, 18 delays and 10 reverbs. Our signal chain can be stored in 100 presets. As you can see, the unit has 2 foot switches and we can control it also via its Bluetooth app that is pretty quick to connect to the unit and that gives us full access to all the customizations we want to apply to the signal chain. The app works on our phones but not on our computer, even if it works if you have an M series Mac, as it can basically run some of the iPhone app. I tried the app in my M1 Mac and in my Mac Studio and it works fine. Furthermore, it has a drum machine built in, a tuner, a looper and a colored 1.77 inches screen. So far it does support MIDI only wirelessly, as it does not have any MIDI port. It can serve as a 2x2 channels USB-C audio interface at up to 24 bits and 44.1 kHz, and it supports the OTG function for directly connecting the unit to iOS and Android mobile devices. In terms of I/O, we have a guitar input, a stereo output via a TRS jack, a USB-C port that can also charge the device while we connect the unit to the computer, which is nice. We then have a dedicated headphone out and an input for an external controller or expression pedal. It runs at 9 volt and it is battery powered thanks to the built-in 2000 mAh lithium battery. The dimensions are shown in the screen and the weight is 378 grams. In fact, it is very small and light. Finally, the price, it is just 89 euros or dollars. I mean, this is very cheap. Let's now hear some more sounds also performing the NULL test. Welcome to the more sound section of this video. We will now first of all perform our beloved NULL test and then we will hear the unit in some dedicated riffs used to compare the Smart Box versus my real SLO100 in terms of frequency response, dynamic range and note envelope. Let's start from our NULL test, which is based on the principle that if we play 2 sounds at the same time with one of them phase inverted, the lower is the resulting LUFS, the more the 2 sounds are similar. For this test I have used my profile of the SLO100 coupled with a Creamback speaker and mic'd with an SM57. For reference, let's also hear the Sonolab Stomp Station Pro and the Valiton GP5, both loaded with the same NUM profile. So, Slow 100 versus Stomp Station Pro. And now SLO100 versus Valiton GP5. And now SLO100 versus Smart Box. Summarizing, we have Stomp Station Pro minus 40.6 LUFS, Valiton GP5 minus 30.6 and the Smartbox minus 30.2. Pretty interesting. So basically the Smartbox has almost the same performances of the GP5 and of course it performs worse than the Stomp Station, which has a much higher price and runs NUM natively. Final considerations here, and please notice that these are gonna be my personal opinions for my specific use cases, and you may not agree with me, and this is totally fine. Furthermore, SoniCake has sent me this unit for free, and this video is actually sponsored. Nonetheless, SoniCake has not seen this video before you, and they are not asking me to say anything. Therefore, I'm free to tell you whatever I want, as usually. And before proceeding, I kindly ask you to subscribe and ring the bell, as it would really help me to create more videos like this. First of all, this is one of the cheapest units in the market, I know, that runs NULL. I mean, just 89 bucks. It is very cheap. Despite the price, it offers an interesting set of features. As I said, we can load NULL profiles, it is battery powered, it has 2 foot switches, it can be controlled wirelessly, it has all the basic effects with chorus, delays, reverbs, overdrives, etc. It is very small and light, and of course it has a drum machine included. I would say that it is therefore a very nice tool, not only for practicing, but also for small jigs, when we don't want to bring with us heavy pedalboards. The main differences compared to the original Pocket Master that I have reviewed in the channel are the 2 foot switches, the more preset, and the physical button below the screen to access directly the effects, which is very handy, I have to say. For the price, it is hard to find cons, even if for me it is worth noticing that the unit runs at 24 bits but 44.1 kHz and not 48, and therefore it needs to somehow convert the NULL profiles even further, bringing them down from 48 to 44.1. This is the only cons I would mention considering my workflow, and that of course has to be considered together with the price of the unit, as being very cheap, some cons have to be expected and tolerated, in my opinion. And now please let me know your precious and valuable opinions in the comment section below. We have now reached the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed, and if you did, please subscribe to my channel, ring the notification bell and leave a thumb up, as it would be of a great help. If you are interested in my IRs, or in my Tone X profile, or in my NULL profiles that you can load here, you can check out the link in the card above or the description below, where there is also a link to my new EP, Art, Love, Freedom. Thank you so much for watching, and see you soon. Bye bye.